Hey all. So I just got off of the phone with Internal Affairs. It's been a long couple weeks trying to follow up on this incident that I had with some transphobic police officers. But I thought, at this point, like a lot's been happening, and I thought it would be a good idea to come on and give you a little bit of an update about what's been going on. Um, so I made that video like right after it happened. And if you didn't watch it, I'll put a link probably here and like down in the comments or something. But so I made that video and I posted it to YouTube, and it got a really big response. It got a lot of people commenting, being like, "This is messed up. Like, I can't believe this is happening in Oakland." And I'm like, "Have you heard of Oakland? Like, this is I'm not surprised that this is happening, but." Um, a lot of people were really pressuring me to follow up on it, especially on my Facebook page where I posted the video as well. A lot of people were saying, you need to like go speak to City Hall. You need to speak up. Like you need to do something about it. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like I can't just sit around talking about it. I have to actually do something. So I found the online complaint forms or whatever that you need, and I filed a complaint with Internal Affairs for Oakland Police, and then I filed a complaint with the Citizen Police Oversight Board. So those two organizations that I filed a complaint with, and I got a call back from Oakland very quickly on this issue, and they were saying that they couldn't find an arrest. And I was like, what are you talking about? They absolutely were arresting this person. Like, they said they had a warrant, they had her in handcuffs, they put her in the back of the car. Like, what are you talking about? You can't find. And the person starts asking me all these questions about, what was the car like? What were their badges like? And I'm trying to remember, like, what was their car like? And I remember it was a dark blue car, and it had gold lettering on it. They definitely, like, they were dressed like cops. They had gold badges. They had guns. And the lady from the Oakland Internal Affairs is like, oh yeah, that's it's probably not us. It's probably someone else. And I'm like, who would it be? And so she says she's gonna look into it. Meanwhile, the next day, I'm riding my bike to school, and I drive past this car, and it's the same car. It's dark blue, it's gold lettering, and I'm like, holy crap, that's it. So I'm like slowing down on my bike, trying to get a good look at it, and they're trying to slow down for some reason too. Like they wanted to drive behind me or something, but so I slow down enough, and I see that it says Alameda County Sheriff's Department, Peralta Community College District. And so I looked this up, and what it is the county sheriff, and they do like a rent-a-cop sort of thing for different large organizations around the Bay Area, hospitals, things like that. One of them happens to be the Peralta Community College, where I'm taking a summer class. So it was the county sheriff's department. So now I have to file a new complaint with the county sheriffs and start completely over. So I did that a few days ago, and I just heard back yesterday from the internal affairs at the county level, saying that they got my complaint, but they couldn't find an arrest. And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can't find an arrest. So he's asking me all these questions, and the first real question that he asks is, what does MTF mean? So I posted a picture of the complaint that I filed, but for gender, for me, as well as the person being arrested, I put MTF because we were both trans women. So he didn't know what that meant. And so when I explained that, he's like, oh, well, there was an arrest that was made in that area, but it was a man. And I was like, that's probably it, but that's kind of part of the problem. So I had to give this officer with the Alameda County Sheriff's Internal Affairs Office this like Trans 101 training on like what trans is, what some of the issues are. It's good, like, these trainings need to happen. It sucks that it's up to people like me to do it, because it should already be happening. Um, anyway, so I get a call back. They've found the arrest record. They've found the police officers. They're gonna start moving ahead with this investigation. So I'm like, okay, so what's the next steps? They're going to talk to the cops who are part of the ones who I had an interaction with. They're gonna get their side of the story. I was like, okay, what's the consequence? Because my ask was that there be transgender sensitivity training, because it's clearly needed. And the guy's like, oh, well, it probably won't go that far. Like, it'll probably just end up going to their supervisor, and, at most they'll have like a one-on-one meeting with their supervisor about what's going on. I'm like, really? That's it? That's it? That's all we can do? So I start asking, like, is there like a citizen review board that I can go to, the same way that Oakland Police has one? Ends up there's not at the county level. Is there, like, who can I go to talk to about making actual substantive change? Because as it turns out, they don't have any sort of trans sensitivity training. They have sensitivity training. It does not include anything about trans people, and they don't have any specific policies about how to interact with transgender people. So the way that this police officer was interacting with me and referring to this transgender woman that he was arresting, using pronouns like it, and emphasizing male pronouns, being very disrespectful, that's apparently totally fine. Totally fine, because they don't have any policies guiding them on how to interact with people like me, which is like step one. So I was really disappointed that there's nothing's gonna happen, right? Nothing's gonna happen. But what I did figure out is the body that oversees the county sheriff's department is the county board of supervisors. It's like 6 elected officials, and they come together and they sort of run the county. And they have their next meeting coming up on July 21st. So I'm going to be at that meeting. I've already worked with, I mentioned this before on my channel, but I worked with the BART police, which is the regional transit system, to implement their new policy on interactions with transgender people. So I'm using that as my base. Like Los Angeles has some really good resources, especially around housing of transgender inmates and things like that. So I'm going to pull together all this stuff, and I'm going to go to this meeting, and I'm going to recommend that they adopt a policy for their county sheriffs. And I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to absolutely follow up on this and pester them, because this is unacceptable. That, we're in the year 2015 in one of the biggest cities in California, and we're dealing with a police force that has no policy on interactions with transgender people and no official training on how that should be done. It's unacceptable. It's absolutely infuriating that this is where we are right now. So I just wanted to come on and give an update about where things are. Things are moving. Things are happening. It's slow. Progress is hard. But you can do it. You can make progress if you just keep going, if you just don't give up. And so that's sort of what I wanted to come on and say. Thanks so much for listening today, guys. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think about this whole thing. I know this is a long video and everything like that, but I'd love to hear what you think about interactions with cops, what we need with these trainings. What's the best way? How would you approach this situation? What would you do? Let me know. Leave some comments, because they were so helpful in the last video. It really changed the way that I was approaching this whole situation and really encouraged me to go forward with filing a complaint. So I really want to, engage everyone on what I should be doing next. Thanks so much. If you like the video, give it a like, things like that. Anyway, it's been so great to talk to you guys, and I will see you all later.